Hare Krishna everyone, welcome to Srila Prabhupada Book Reading Club. This is the morning session and currently we are reading the Chant and Be Happy. We are on chapter 1 and we are reading the discussion between George Harrison and Mukunda. So let's start our session by offering the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadatin Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitancha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatayubhyasya कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्गायते गिरि यत्कृपातहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So today I haven't carried my book because I'm unable to mark. It's dark outside. So we will go through the reading, and tomorrow I will promise that I will summarize all the takeout points. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So today, who wants to become Mukunda and who wants to become George?
George.
Anyone
Yes.
new? Muthumanikam Prabhu, you want to become Mukunda?
Yes, Mataji.
And we have Punraj Prabhu is there. Nasimha Prabhu is there. Anyone would like to become George?
No one.
No, like everyone has some personal stuff in the morning, no? Surendranath Prabhu, would you like to become George? Okay. Sureshwari Mataji, you raise your hand first. You can. So,
Mataji, would
Sureshwari
I start?
Mataji. Yes. So, Muthumanikam Prabhu is a Mukunda and Sureshwari Mataji is a George. So, let's start. So, this is our third conversation, experiencing the God through the senses. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Chap.
Experiencing God through the senses. Mukunda, we have talked a lot about japa or personalized chanting, which most chanters engage in. But there is another type called kirtana. When one chants congregationally in a temple or on the street with a group of devotees, kirtana generally gives a more supercharged effect, like recharging one's spiritual batteries, and it gives others a chance to hear the holy names and becomes purified. Actually, I was with Srila Prabhupada when he first began the group chanting in Tompkins Square Park on New York's Lower East Side in 1966. The poet Allen Ginsberg would come and chant with us a lot and would play his harmonium. A lot of people would come to hear the chanting. The Prabhupada would give lectures on the Bhagavad Gita back at the temple.
Yes, going to a
Yes,
temple or George, yes, going to a temple or chanting with a group of other people, the vibration is that much stronger. Of course, for some people, it's easy just to start chanting on their beats in the middle of a crowd, while other people are more comfortable chanting in the temple. But part of Krishna consciousness is trying to tune in all the senses of all the people to experience God through all the senses and not just by experiencing Him on Sunday through your knees by kneeling on some hard wooden kneeler in the church. But if you visit a temple, you can see pictures of God, you can see the deity form of the Lord, and you can just hear Him by listening to yourself and others say the mantra. It's just a way of realizing that all the senses can be applied to perceiving God, and it makes it that much more appealing seeing the pictures, hearing the mantra, smelling the incense flowers, and so on. That's the nice thing about your movement. It incorporates everything chanting, dancing, philosophy, and prasada, vegetarian food that has been spiritualized by being offered to Lord Krishna. The music and dancing is a serious part of the process too. It's not just something to burn off excess energy.
Mugunda. We have always seen that when we chant in the streets, people are eager to crowd around and listen. A lot of them tap their feet or dance along.
George, it's great, the sound of cymbals. When I hear them from a few blocks away, it's like some magical thing that awakens something in me. Without their really being aware of what's happening, people are being awakened spiritually. Of course, in another sense, in a higher sense, the Kirtana is always going on, whether we are hearing it or not. Now, all over the place in Western cities, the Sankirtana party has become a common sight. I love to see these Sankirtana parties because I love the whole idea of the devotees mixing it up with everybody, giving everybody a chance to remember. I wrote in the Krishna book introduction, everybody is looking for Krishna. Some don't realize that they are, but they are. Krishna is God, and by chanting his holy names, the devotee quickly develops God consciousness.
Mugunda. You know, Srila Prabhupada often said that after a large number of temples were established, most people would simply begin to take up the chanting of Hare Krishna in their own homes. And we are seeing more and more that is this is what's happening. Our worldwide congregation is very large in the millions. The chanting on the streets, the books and the temples are there to give people a start to introduce them to the process.
George, I think it's better that it is spreading into the homes now. There are a lot of closet Krishnas. There's a lot of people out there who are just waiting, and if it's not today, it will be tomorrow, or next week, or next year. Back in the 60s, whatever we were all getting into, we tended to broadcast it as loud as we could. I had certain realizations and went through a period where I was so thrilled about my discoveries and realizations that I wanted to shout and tell it to everybody. But there's a time to shout it out and a time not to shout it out. A lot of people went underground with their spiritual life in the 70s, but they are out there in little nooks and crannies and in the countryside. People who look and dress straight, insurance salesman types, but they're really meditators and chanters, closet devotees. Prabhupada's movement is doing pretty well. It's growing like wildfire, really. How long it will take until we get to a golden age where everybody is perfectly in tune with God's will, I don't know. But because of Prabhupada, Krishna consciousness has certainly spread more in the last 16 years than it has since the 16th century, the time of Lord Chaitanya. The mantra has spread more quickly and the movement's gotten bigger and bigger. It would be great if everyone chanted. Everybody would benefit by doing it. No matter how much money you've got, it doesn't necessarily make you happy. You have to find your happiness with the problems you have, not worry too much about them, and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. The great saint, mystic, and incarnation of Krishna who popularized the chanting of Hare Krishna and founded the modern day Hare Krishna movement. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Muttamanikam Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji. So next, who would like to become Mukunda and George? Ritvika Mataji, would you like to?
Yes, Mataji.
How is your cold? Are you okay now?
Yes, Mataji. I am okay
Okay.
now.
Yes.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
So,
I'll take up Surendranath.
yes, Prabhu, would you like to become George or
Yes,
Mukunda?
yes. Anything.
Okay. So,
Anything is okay.
Ritvika Mataji, you can become Mukunda and let Surendranath Prabhu become George. Okay. And you
Okay,
can also
Mataji.
like add some your dramatic skills also, the voice if you want to change. Okay. So it's all okay. So this is
Sure,
our
Mataji.
fourth or fifth conversation, the Hare Krishna record. Yes, Prabhuji, you can start and Mataji.
The Hare Krishna record, Mukunda. In 1969, you produced a single called Hare Krishna Mantra, which eventually became a hit in many countries. That tune later became a cut on the Radha Krishna Temple album, which you also produced on the Apple label and which was distributed in America by Capitol Records. A lot of people in the recording business were surprised by this. You're producing songs for and singing with the Hare Krishnas. Why did you do it?
George, well, it's just all a part of service, isn't it? Spiritual service. In order to try to spread the mantra all over the world, also to try and give the devotees a wider base and a bigger foothold in England and everywhere else.
How did the success of this record of Hare Krishna devotees chanting compare with some of the rock musicians you were producing at the time, like Jackie Lomax, Splinter, and Billy Preston?
George, it was a difficult thing, nothing to do with the that really. There was much more reason to do it. There was less commercial potential in it, but it was much more satisfying to do, knowing the possibilities that it was going to create, the connotations it would have just by doing a 3.5 minute mantra. That was more fun really than trying to make a pop hit record. It was the feeling of trying to utilize your skills or job to make it into some spiritual service to Krishna.
What effect do you think that tune Hare Krishna mantra, having reached millions and millions of people, has had on the world's cosmic consciousness?
George, I did like to think it had some effect. After all, the sound is God.
When Apple called a press conference to promote the record, the media seemed shocked to hear you speak about the soul and God being so important.
George, I felt it was important to try and be precise, to tell them and let them know, to come out of the closet and really tell them, because once you realize something, then you can't pretend you don't know it anymore. I figure this is the space age with aeroplanes and everything. If everything can go around the world on their holidays, there's no reason why a mantra can't go a few miles as well. So the idea was to try to spiritually infiltrate society, so to speak. After I got Apple Records committee to you and the record released, and after our big promotion, we saw it going to become a big hit. And one of the greatest thrills of my life actually was seeing you all on the BBC's Top of the Pops. I couldn't believe it. It's pretty hard to get on that program because they only put you on if you come into the top 20. It was just like a breath of fresh air. My strategy was to keep it to a 3.5 minutes version of the mantra. So they did play it on the radio and it worked. I did the harmonium and the guitar track for that record at Abbey Road Studios before one of the Beatles session and then overdubbed a bass part. I remember Paul McCartney and his wife Linda arrived arrived at the studio and enjoyed the mantra.
Paul's quite favorite now, you know.
Yeah, that's good. It still sounds like quite a good recording, even after all the years of the year. It was the greatest fun of all, really, to see Krishna on top of the pops.
Shortly after it released, John Lennon told me that they played it at the intermission right before Bob Dylan did the Isles of Wight concert with Jimi Hendrix, the Moody Blues, and Joe Cocker in the summer of '69.
Yeah, they played it while they were getting the stage set up for Bob. It was great. Besides, it was a catchy tune, and the people didn't have to know what it meant in order to enjoy it. I felt very good when I first heard it was doing well.
How how did you feel about the record technically? The voices?
Yamuna, the lead singer, had a naturally good voice. I liked the way she sang with conviction, and she sang like she'd been singing it a lot before. It didn't sound like the first time she did ever sung. You know, I used to sing the mantra long before I met any of the devotees or long before I met Prabhupada because I had the first record then for at least 2 years. When you are when you are open to something, it's like being a beacon. You attract it. But from the first time I heard the chanting, it was like a door opened somewhere in my subconscious, maybe from some previous life.
In the lyrics to the song Awaiting on You All from All Things Must Pass, you come right out front and tell people that they can be free from living in the material world by chanting the names of God. What made you do it? What kind of feedback did you get?
At that time, nobody was committed to this that type of music in the pop world. There I felt a real need for that. So rather than sitting and waiting for somebody else, I decided to do it myself. A lot of times we think, well, I agree with you, but I am not going to actually stand up and be counted. Too risky. Everybody is always trying to keep themselves covered, stay commercial. So I thought, just do it. Nobody else did it, nobody else is, and I'm sick of all the young people just boogieing around, wasting their life. You know this. You know. Also, I felt there was a lot of people out there who would be who could be reached, who would be reached. I'm, I still get letters from people saying, I have been in the Krishna temple for 3 years and I would have never known about Krishna unless you recorded the All Things Must Pass album. So I know by the Lord's grace, I am a small part in the cosmic world.
What about the other Beatles? What did they think about you taking up Krishna consciousness? What was the reaction? You
You, you all did.
Hare Krishna Mataji, we are not
Yes,
audible.
Mataji. Yes, Mataji. What did they think about your taking up Krishna consciousness? What was the reaction? What it had all been to India by then and were pretty much searching for something spiritual. Shamashundara said that once when he had lunch with you and the other Beatles, they were all quite respectful.
Oh, yeah. Well, if the Fab Four didn't get it, that is, if they couldn't deal with shaven head Hare Krishnas, then there would have been no hope, laughter. And the devotees just came to be associated with me. So people stopped thinking, hey, what's this? You know, if somebody is orange with a shaved head would appear, they did say, oh yeah, they are with George.
From the very start, you always felt comfortable around the devotees.
The first time I met Shyam Sundara, I felt I liked him. He was my pal. On the back of Prabhupada's record, I did read about Prabhupada's coming from India to Boston, and I knew that Shyam Sundara and all of you would were in my age group, and that the only difference really was that you did joined and I didn't. I was in a rock band, but I didn't have any fear because I had seen dhotis, your robes, and the saffron color and shaved heads in India. Krishna consciousness was especially good for me because I didn't get the feeling that I did have to shave my head, move into a temple, and do a full time. So it was a spiritual thing that just fit in with my lifestyle. I could still be a musician, but I just changed my consciousness. That's all.
You know, the Tudor Mansion, an estate that you gave us outside London, has become one of our largest international centers. How do you feel about the Bhaktivedanta Manor's success in spreading Krishna consciousness?
Oh, it's great. And it also relates to making the Hare Krishna record or whatever my involvements were. Actually, it gives me pleasure. The idea that I was fortunate enough to be able to help that time, all those songs with spiritual themes were like little plugs. My sweet Lord and the others. And now I know that people are much more respectful and accepting it when it comes to seeing the devotees in the street and all that. It was no longer like something that's coming from left field. And I have given a lot of Prabhupada's book to many people, and whether I ever hear from them again or not, it's good to know that they have forgotten them, and if they read them, their life may be changed.
When you come across people who are spiritually inclined but don't have much knowledge, what kind of advice do you give them?
I try to tell them my little bit what my experience is and give them a choice of things to read and a choice of places to go. Like, go to the temple, try chanting.
In the Ballad of John and Yuko rap the media for the way it can foster a false image of you and perpetuate it. It it has taken a lot of time and effort to get them to understand that we are a genuine religion with scriptures that predate the New Testament by 3,000 years. Gradually, though, more people, scholars, philosophers, theologians have come around, and today they have a great deal of respect for the ancient Vaishnava tradition, the spiritual culture centered on loving devotional service to Lord Vishnu or Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, where the modern day Krishna consciousness movement has its roots.
The media is to blame for everything, for all the misconceptions about the movement. But in a sense, it didn't really matter if they said something good or bad, because Krishna consciousness always seemed to transcend the barriers anyway. The fact that the media was letting people know about Krishna was good in itself.
Srila Prabhupada always trained us to stick to our principles. He said that the worst thing we could ever do would be to make some sort of compromise or to dilute the philosophy for the sake of cheap popularity. Although many swamis and yogis had come from India to the West, Prabhupada was the only one with the purity and devotion to establish India's ancient Krishna conscious philosophy around the world on its own terms, not watered down but as it is.
That's right. He was a perfect example of what he preached.
How did you feel about financing the first printing of the Krishna book and writing the introduction?
I just felt that it was part of my job. Wherever I go to the world, when I see devotees, I always say Hare Krishna to them, and they are always pleased to see me. It's like a relationship, whether they really know me personally or not. They feel they know me, and they do really.
When you did the Material World album, you used a photo insert taken from the cover of Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita showing Krishna and his friends and disciple Arjuna. Why?
Oh, yeah, it's said on the album from the cover of Bhagavad Gita as it is by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. It was a promo for you, of course. I wanted to give them all a chance to see Krishna, to know about him. I mean, that's the whole idea, isn't it?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank
Krishna
you so
Hare
Mataji.
much.
Krishna.
I
Well,
think there is still more like a bigger discussion. So from tomorrow, like we will summarize the, like take out points, and today we can move towards the spiritual world. And those who didn't get chance, like Snigdha Mataji, Sarmila Mataji, all will get the chance because there is a big discussion here. Okay. So today we can end here. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय. So we can see na, like this is so nice. Uh, like Muttamanikam Prabhu, you can stop the screen sharing. So this is very nice discussion. We are learning a lot of points. So similarly, whatever we are whatever we are chanting, whatever we are hearing, whatever books we are reading, we should able to tell the other devotees. And there are many devotees who are doing the like facilitator seva. So this is how we have to approach the new devotees. When we read the Srila Prabhupada books, when we read the discussions like between the senior devotees, like we can see that George Harrison was the devotee, but how he is a pre-reaching. So from there, like we can learn how we have to talk with the neophytes. Okay. And like when we share our experience, or like when people say, oh, I don't like to feel like chanting, then you can also say, oh, Mataji, like I also don't like to chant, but when I started chanting, and when I maintain the consistency, like I become very happy, and like it give me kind of peace, and it also it has been increased my concentration levels. So like you can pre-reach in this way. And this is how like we have to pre-reach to neophytes. Okay, like directly we cannot say them like please try to follow the four regulative principles strictly, chant 16 rounds. No one will come. We have to simply tell them, at least try to read the one page of Bhagavad Gita and start chanting one round of Hare Krishna mantra. Like don't think about the rest, just start doing this. When they start doing this, after a few months there will be some purification happens, and then they can start taking further instructions. Okay, so Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you so
Hare
much for
Krishna.
Hare
joining.
Krishna
Krishna
Mataji, Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
Hare
thank you so
Hare
Krishna.
much.
Krishna Mataji Pranam.
I
धन्यवाद
hope you are
माताजी.
enjoying the discussion between the Mukunda and George Harrison.
Sure.
है ना?
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji.
It
Yes,
is so nice. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, it is better to read this night session book, Messenger of God, Srila Prabhupada. That book giving concise part of details.
Prabhuji, that is for the night session, and like
No.
this is the we are reading the book, Prabhuji. This is the chapter 1. There is a conversation between George Harrison and Mukunda. We are reading that, and like we are also
Mataji,
taking a lot of points, na?
Mataji, this is elaborated one, but that one concise part regarding the Beatles with Srila Prabhupada. That one concise part we have
But
read.
Prabhuji, we are doing book reading, na? We are reading the book. This is the chapter 1 of the book,
Mataji,
the Chant and Be Happy.
but that one concise part I have already read. How they met the Beatles in London and how they
Yes.
engaged Sri Krishna albums and other things, how the sales increased. That we have read already, Mataji. No problem. This
But
one is
like,
elaborated one.
you know, it is like, Prabhuji, you have eaten rice in early morning, so you are not going to have like rice in dinner, is it?
No. That,
No, we have to read it multiple times. Okay, no
yes,
issues.
Mataji. Yes,
Yes.
correct, Mataji.
You must learning some new things from this elaborate discussion also. You know.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you
Hare
for
Krishna
joining.
Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna. Well
Krishna,
said.
Mataji. Dhanyavad,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare
धन्यवाद
Krishna.
माता जी।